When we think about what makes an athlete truly successful, it's so easy to just look at the wins and losses. But that's not the whole story, not even close. Today, we're going to break down a blueprint for what really creates lasting health and success in sports, and it's all built on three foundational pillars. So let's just ask it straight up. What really defines a successful athlete? Is it just about having more trophies on the shelf or better stats than the next person? The real answer, as we're about to see, is so much deeper. It's about building something that lasts. The key is to think about it like this: a balanced foundation, kind of like a three-legged stool. It's a simple idea, but it's powerful. Each leg is absolutely essential. If one leg is shaky, or maybe it's missing altogether, well, the whole thing comes crashing down. That's the model we're going to unpack today. All right, so let's dive into that first leg of the stool. This is the one we're probably all most familiar with, the physical foundation. I mean, this is where everything starts, right? You just can't have peak performance without a body that's been built, protected, and trained the right way. And this foundation isn't just about raw talent or strength. It's built on a few key components. We're talking about having the right equipment, not just any old gear. It's about actively preventing injuries, not just reacting to them. And of course, smart, age-appropriate conditioning and dedicated skill work. All of these have to be there. And when we talk about injury prevention, it's so important to get this right. This isn't just about slapping some ice on something that hurts. No way. It's a proactive strategy. It's a whole system of smart warm-ups, proper cool-downs, and training programs that are specifically designed for an athlete's age and where they are in their development. So what does that look like in the real world? It breaks down into three simple but absolutely critical steps. First, gear up. Seems obvious, but using the right protective gear, like properly fitting shoes, is a game changer. Second, train smart. You gotta follow progressions that make sense for your age to avoid burnouts. And third, and this might be the most important skill of all, listen to your body. Recognizing fatigue and dealing with injuries right away, that's totally non-negotiable. You see, at the end of the day, it's this simple. This physical pillar is the bedrock. A strong, healthy body is the foundation, and literally everything else in an athlete's career is built right on top of it. Okay, but a strong body is only part of the equation, right? We all know the real battle is often fought between the ears, and that brings us to the second leg of our stool, mastering the mental game. And just like the physical side, mental strength isn't just one thing. It's a combination of a few key ingredients. We're talking about resilience, that ability to bounce back, laser-sharp focus, to stay in the moment, the skill of actually managing pressure when the game is on the line, and maybe most importantly, developing a powerful growth mindset. And this quote just nails the whole idea of a growth mindset. It's about shifting your perspective. You start to see challenges not as threats, but as opportunities. Opportunities to get better, to learn, to grow. That one little mental switch can honestly change everything for an athlete. And that idea feeds directly into resilience. I mean, what is resilience, really? It's that grit, that ability to take a hit, learn from a failure, and just keep moving forward. Resilience is what turns a tough loss into fuel for the next win. This comparison here just lays it all out, plain and simple. On one side, you've got the fixed mindset, where a failure feels like the end of the road. On the other, the growth mindset, where failure is just feedback. One mindset avoids challenges, the other runs towards them. You can see how fundamental this difference is for any athlete who wants to improve. So we've got the body, we've got the mind, but there's still one more piece to this puzzle. Because no athlete, and I mean no athlete, makes it to the top alone. That brings us to our third and final leg of the stool, the supportive structure. This is the team behind the athlete. So what are we talking about when we say supportive structure? Well, it's the whole ecosystem around them. It's the coaches, for sure, but it's also a genuinely positive team culture, a strong partnership between parents and coaches, and an unwavering commitment to fair play and sportsmanship. Let's dig into that idea of a positive team culture for a sec. It's not just a fuzzy concept. It's built on some really concrete values. As you can see, it all starts with respect. From there, you build an inclusivity, support, collaboration. All of these things work together to create an environment where an athlete feels safe enough to fail, to take risks, and to truly grow. And all of that, respect, integrity, it leads right into what we call sportsmanship. This is about more than just playing by the rules. It's about your character. It's about treating everyone involved in the game with respect and playing with honesty. It's who you are when nobody's watching. The big takeaway here is just so important to remember. Success is a team sport. Even in what looks like a solo performance, there's always a team, coaches, family, teammates, standing behind that athlete, making that moment possible. Okay, so we've looked at each leg of the stool one by one, the physical, the mental, and the supportive. Now, let's put it all back together and see how they create the complete picture of a healthy, thriving athlete. And really, this says it all, doesn't it? Physical, mental, support. You cannot just pick one or two. They are completely interdependent. You take away any single one of those legs, and the whole stool topples over. It's that simple and that crucial. This chart is the perfect way to see it. Look at that balance. For an athlete to have stable, long-term success, their development has to be in harmony across all three areas. It's not about being a 10 in physical and a 2 in mental. It's about bringing them all up together. They are all equally critical. And in the end, this is the real why. Why does all of this matter so much beyond just winning games? Because as this says, the lessons you learn in sports, when taught this way, are actually life skills. This approach doesn't just build better athletes, it helps build more resilient, capable, and well-rounded human beings. So that leaves us with a pretty big question for every single one of us, whether you're a coach, a parent, or an athlete yourself. Now that we have the blueprint, how can we make sure that every single athlete out there is standing on a foundation that is strong, balanced, and truly built to last?